The following. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio. Our goal is simple: to explore evolving ideas one conversation at a time. So, stay with us as right now we present to Positive Talk, everybody. I'm so excited. We've got a full house again, and I'm really looking forward to talking to everybody again because Sisters J is with us. Those are the two beautiful ladies that are there on the right of your screen. And hi guys, how you doing? And Mary's here, and Thornton's here, and Ted's here. The entire entourage of folks that are doing some really cool stuff with the voices and writing the music and producing it and all of that you guys are doing. And you've been on the show before, and we're going to play both of your songs today, if you don't mind. One as the video, and the other one as the audio. The new one, which is just out. And by the way, Mary, you get to say hello, and then my doctor says that you can't say anymore.
Okay, hello, everybody.
Poor thing, and she's such a trooper too, because she still shows up to do this, and I really appreciate it. Sisters J is who we're talking about, and that is the two young ladies that are actually sisters. By the way, which one of you is the older one?
Me.
And how much older are you?
3.5 years.
Oh, very good. I think it's really cool, and it's a statement to Mary the mom, and also the podcaster, also the author. And one of these days we're going to have to do just when you can talk again, just a conversation between you and I about all the things that you do, because I think that would be just awesome. But so I think it's a statement to mom that you guys actually get along. My sons are 3 years apart, and not so much. Not so much, I'm afraid. But and Ted, he's here. He's the master producer. He's met more people. He can name drop more people in 5 minutes than I've ever met anybody do. So he's worked with Whitney Houston. He's worked with Bob Dylan and a whole bunch of characters. And welcome to the show, Ted. How are you?
Thank you. Well, I just redid my bio, so I'm name dropping Sisters J, Thornton, Billy Gaines. I'm putting in a new name, so that's cool. It's great to be able to bring that, and plus these guys, their record is doing so well, so I'm so proud of that. That's like happening right now. So
these guys are going to be something special.
yeah.
As they get going and they put more work into it, they're going to be something special. And Thornton, welcome to the show. How are you today, sir? And I know you got
your show. Always glad to be on the show.
And I know you got to leave a little early too. And then I'll have just Ted and the girls that I can talk to. That'll be fun too. Because you guys are really something. Now, would you like to play? Now, when did Clearly come out? When did it, as they say, drop?
October 19th on the radio worldwide. November 2nd, distribution on streaming everywhere you can buy it.
And if they want to go to Spotify or Pandora or any of those places or Apple, they can download it. Don't stream it, please. Download it, pay for it. They deserve to get paid for it.
Right. And it's on TikTok. So we've already made a video with it on TikTok. Both songs are on TikTok if people want to use it for their background music.
Oh, really cool. That's really cool. Would you like to set it up, guys, and Ted? What is Clearly about? How did it come to be?
Well, Elizabeth wrote it, so she should probably speak on that. She would know. I just love the thought and the concept of things being clearly clear like that. But she should speak on what she was meaning when she wrote those words.
Now, the first time that we talked, Elizabeth, you were in the process of writing that song. And so this was back in July, I believe. So it's completed, it's done, and it's total. What was your thoughts behind the song?
So this song clearly, I think I was talking about another song that I had been writing like the last time that we wrote,
Oh,
the
okay.
last time that we spoke, because clearly I wrote when I was 16. So that was 8 years ago.
6.
Don't tell your age.
No, you're
A while ago.
I've been teaching all day. The brain's not there anymore. But I wrote it when I was 16, when I had just like experienced teenage love for the first time, and you see the world differently. You see things differently, you feel things differently, and so it's saying like, I really have a lot of feelings for you. And like the first line is, the way you look at me is something I've never seen before. So it's like, whoa. And just the eyes are like a big thing for me specifically. It's one of the first things I notice about somebody. And the way that someone looks at me is something, and the way I look at them is very intimate to me. And so that's what I wanted to kind of put into the song, and like seeing the world clearly and seeing that person more clearly is what the song is about too. And it's supposed to be a feel good, like wholesome song. So
it's really not fair that you can have such talent at 16 years old.
I want to tell you something so cute. When I was looking through stuff to do the video, I found a video of her at 16, and we taped this for Thornton. It was so sweet. So little 16 Elizabeth, she's like, Thornton, I'm working on this song. I want you to hear it. It goes like this. And I have the original recording before she even finished it. It's just
Cool.
so precious. And that was for Thornton because she wanted to share it with him.
Oh, that's really cool. And by the way, speaking of Thornton, you're busy doing all kinds of stuff, and you've got a bunch of songs and a bunch of things that have done really, really well. Do you want to name drop anything?
Well, I mean, I'm honored to be a part of this exceptional team here. It's an amazing team. The sisters Jay and Ted, Theo, Perlman, and all, and Mary. We have a song out right now that's also an additional. It's on the charts. It's been actually, Ted was the one that Theo said something like he hadn't had 2 songs in the top 10. I believe you told me that or something.
Yep.
Posted it, and so we have 2 songs in the top 10 right now in the Euro charts. We have a song with Billy Gaines called "World of Hope," and it hit number 1, and it dropped to 2. And then and the Sisters J is, I think, it is 9 or 10 on Euro charts. So that's quite amazing for 2 songs on Clientele Records, produced by Theo. In the top 10. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're gonna meet in the middle.
Yeah, they'll meet somewhere in the right thing.
That's cool when they're right next to each other. It's gonna be awesome. So
That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it's really. I mean, you can ask Theo; he would know more. He's been doing it for a long time, and lots of great artists, right? So,
I mean, just having 2, unless you're somebody like Drake, who at one time had like 50 of the top 100,
right?
Things like that, But just for the rest of us normal people, it's pretty exciting to have that happen. So I was really proud, and I just was happy that it was on a work for Clientele Records.
And hopefully this will be nominated next year. Hopefully Grammy.
Yep. Amen. I nominated Open When. So I nominated it there, but the ones that came out. But I do have one record that's that made it past all the first round. So
right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Is it Manhattan Transfer?
Yeah, the Manhattan Transfer record got through. So it's in the jazz category, but it's like, I don't care, and I'll take it. So that was cool. We nominated Billy Gaines' first record, and so next year, hopefully, Clearly, and hopefully World of Hope get in there. And we just, it's such a hard thing to get to. There's so much politics and money involved. The big record labels really spend a lot of money to get their stuff on. The Manhattan Transfer is on like a big major record label, Concord. So it's the labels spend the kind of money. If you're an independent, it's much harder to get past the first round to the next round. It's not like they listen, they say that song is great. It's not based on the quality of the record or anything like that. It's based on how much money. It's kind of like the Oscars. where the studios spend a lot of money to promote their films. So great films don't always get an Oscar.
I wonder what would happen if Grammys changed the rules and decided to just go with no promotion, just vote it strictly on
what so then you get into who's deciding what's good, who's listening and stuff. So they keep.
I know. I'm just saying. I wonder if we can. What would happen if that did? The rules were changed.
Well, then we have an equal shot, which would be great. So I'm claiming that by this time next year, I'm going to have enough money to spend $1 million to make sure that Clearly gets pushed through to the next round. So thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Ted, you just don't strike me as a tuxedo type of guy. So do you have one?
I sure do.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
It's in the store, and I haven't bought it yet, but I know I know which one I'm going to get.
He keeps doing window shopping. Are you window shopping? Is that what you're doing?
No, or else I'll be like John Baptiste, and I'll go get some of my grandmother's old clothes and put them on. Steve Lacy's nominated, and Steve Lacy, his mode of dress is different. So I don't think tuxedo in the traditional sense is a part of it anymore. It's kind of like the VMAs, where everybody's just as wild as they want to be. The old days of straight tuxedos, I think they're pretty much gone.
Well, so you can be as creative as you want.
Amen. Amen.
Have you had the opportunity to walk down the red carpet yet?
I've done red carpets before on the American Music Awards and things, but not the Grammys. Even the Grammy that won previously, only the artist gets to go, not everybody else. So there's so many people in categories, so the artist gets to go up, But I've done red carpets for Whitney Houston debut movies about her. I've done red carpets for I said the American Music Awards. A couple of TV shows and stuff. It's great. You get to walk in there and, but you're walking behind people. You never want to walk behind some hot actress or something like that, because I don't care how well you're dressed. It's like you're there. Oh, thank you so much. And as soon as the actress is like behind you, all the cameras go like that. So, but these girls would look awesome. They're just beautiful, and that they're going to put the do with the ding 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 on or something like that to do the red carpet. They'll look awesome.
The do and the ding ding ding. Is there a song in there somewhere?
Yeah, and the beaten fotch on the face, and the whooping the hair and whooping all that stuff. Beaten fotch, yeah.
Yes, you guys would look sensational in some gowns that and walking down the red carpet. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I interviewed a couple of gals that do the interviews for the red carpet for a lot of different. So they've interviewed like Carol Burnett and Danny DeVito and a whole bunch of folks. So you would fit right in.
That'd be so cool.
That would be like awesome.
If we ever get the opportunity.
So, without further ado, shall we play this song so that people can get a good sense of it, and then we'll come back and talk about it some more, and then we'll say goodbye to Mary and to Thornton, and then we'll continue on for a little bit and play the video. I love the video, by the way, and you guys did such a good job with that. So let's. Do you guys want to play the song?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, and this is destined to be #1 in Europe and #1 in the United States.
Yes, that's where we're going. We need your help, and we'll all be dancing, just so you know. We love this song.
Exactly, and the name of the song is called Clearly, and this is Sisters J.
Is nothing
Hold on.
like I've ever seen.
Okay.
You wouldn't believe, and when you spin me round and round, can't wipe the smile from my face. Your heart is something I can't replace, 'cause you make me feel like I'm on top of the world. yourself, you're true. Cause you've turned my world upside down, opened my eyes to see color. You make me smile like no other. Cause you make me feel like I'm on top of the world. And every time your hand meets mine, I see a little more clearly. And with every embrace, I feel a little closer to home than I'd ever thought I'd be. Clearly, 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 'cause you know me better than anyone.
Really good.
You like to see me as me and not someone else, 'cause you accept me for me. You love me for me. And throughout this past year, I've gained so much. Can't erase you from my mind. You've helped me to see a little more
And that is Sisters J. I gotta
Love
ask
it.
you two, when you heard the song in its final form, did it surprise you with how good it is, or are you guys, you've been singing so long together that it was like, oh yeah, okay, that's pretty cool.
No, I mean, it was surprising because it was like, it was the same melody and the same like foundation of the
Bass.
song that we had used or that we originally wrote since the beginning, but then like putting it all together with what Ted made, and then when Lily added in some extra things, and Ted was like, "No, do this, add this, add this." It was like, whoa, that's really cool. I
He was
like
like,
that.
whistle again. I want you to whistle again.
I mean,
It's
the
like,
whistling is awesome.
Whistling was cool. Every Sisters J.
It's gonna be in
record-
every song now.
It's
Yes,
gonna be on
that's it.
every record.
Yeah.
In some
That's
form.
your trademark, isn't your signature, right?
Yeah.
Lily's signature is her whistle, yeah.
We're gonna do a cover of Barry Manilow's "Can't Smile Without You" with a. And then what's that record by Numb that's out? The whistling. I mean, whistling is so. DJ Khaled's got whistling, so you know it's cool. So we're at the forefront of the whistling revolution. First, it was.
Well, I have to say, Kevin, that it's, you know, the reviews that have been written talk about how the girls are really not trying to be like anybody else. They're not Nashville cliche. They have found their own sound, and they're making their own mark in the pop world with their music, and that they are helping to shape the future of what pop music's going to look like. So, I mean, to hear those words said about like my kids, you know, let alone it's like, whoa, so amazing.
Hey, y'all, sorry to interrupt. I have to go to my class now, so sorry.
He has to go legit teach. Okay, bye, Thornton. We love you.
By the way, Thornton, you dress up real nice.
Thank you. This is not how I usually dress. Y'all can ask. You can ask Theo and Mary and Lily.
Every time I see Thornton to play touch football, he's wearing that tie.
Yeah, right.
The specific tie.
I just sort of have to play. I play the professor role here a little bit.
I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Professor, that's great, though. You should call yourself Thornton the Professor Klein. You should add a little thing in the middle.
Well, I'm actually having. This is the piano lab here. I just wanted. This is our piano lab here where we have class piano.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
teachers. We got 2 teachers here, so that's pretty cool.
Indeed.
Right. I wish I could stay longer and everything. Thank you so much for having me on, and I hope to be able to be on the next event. The show.
I hope so too, and
Yeah,
that's
all
going to
the-
be on
yeah.
KKNW. So
Yeah,
Go.
Thornton Clientele Records is Thornton, which is pretty cool. So without without the record label, nobody ever hears the stuff. So the record label, Berry Gordy and Clive Davis and Thornton Klein, these people are the really the ones that get the music out there. So Thornton, being not only a songwriter, musician, but the record label, we're grateful to him on that one too. And he's the co-writer on the first song, Open When. So he's wearing many hats and many ties too. So
Well,
So-
Thornton, thank you so much for being here. And one of these days, we're just going to have to. I really need to just have each of you in turn do an interview and to play because there's so much that we don't know yet that I need to know about you.
mhm.
Well, it's an honor to be on the show. Thank you so much. And
Yeah,
It's good to see you.
good to see
Yes.
you. Yeah, definitely.
And take care of yourself. And the kids that you're about to teach are in for a very lucky moment.
Mhm.
Sure.
well, I appreciate that.
Take care. God bless, man.
That's exciting. So take care of yourself. And Mary, before you go real quick, tell us about the youngest. And you've got to go because you got to take him to a play that he's rehearsing for that opens up this weekend. Talk about that just a little bit before you go.
No, Lily's so excited. She's going to be working backstage all weekend in the show production because
Where
that's
I
one of her
belong.
fortes. I know Lisa wants to be here. So bad too. So there's a woman named Susan Hunter. She's an author. She wrote a book called 77 Letters. I'm going to plug for her. You got to go check it out. It's a true story, and it's been written. It's been adapted to the stage for a play. And it's about her mother, who was a Vietnam War nurse, and her relationship and friendship. She had written letters to soldiers over in Vietnam. And so it's a story about that and trying to cheer up these soldiers, during their stay in Vietnam. So we get an insight in the play into what their life was like over there. But it's about the relationship with one particular soldier that she has. And they have 77 letters they wrote back and forth to each other during that period of time. And he actually even came to visit her. And Carson is playing one of the children in the production. So tomorrow it is making its world debut. And I say that because they are planning to take it and travel with it across the U.S. and outside the country to other countries.
Dare I say it? Is it going to get to do you think it'll go to Broadway?
I would hope so. I really do. And we could say I could say my son was part of the original cast, which is kind of cute. But no, I do hope it goes to Broadway. We any veterans that are coming to the show is free for them and their families. And on Carson's school, we had the kids write letters to the veterans. So they're making these swag bags for the veterans that come to the show. So each of them will have a letter from a child, which is really kind of sweet.
That's really cool. So congratulate him for us, would you?
I will. I'll send you a picture of him in action.
Well, that would be-
I'm not happy because she's taking him away from his musical career. This is this distraction. Dr. Edge is like my mini me, and I'm trying to raise him in the musical world. Even though I'm not his parent, I'm just trying to be like super uncle and something, whatever.
Super
Yeah.
uncle.
Uncle
Yeah.
Edge, Dr. Edge. You have to play. Have you sent him the promo?
No, Kevin, I have to send you the TikTok I made with Carson on the drums.
No,
Oh, I'd love to see it.
that is like it's great. It's not just good. As Carson comes out there in his Dr. Edge outfit with the drumsticks and that light up and everything like that. He's talking about my sisters. You got to hear my sister's song, and he plays along with the song. I mean, it's way cooler than talking to me. I mean, that'll sell the song easily. It's great, and he's just their family is so talented. I mean, all three of them, five of them, just it's an amazing family, and each one of them is so talented in their own right, and they're just really special. And so I felt even the dog, and the dog and their grandmother Frida is an amazing woman, and it's like, it's like this. God has blessed each member of this Jackson family, and they're just unique individuals. So it's just wonderful to be a part somehow, in part of the music or whatever. But that little kid there, that's like little Michael Jackson coming up. So watch out for him. I remember when Venus Williams came out, and she was like, well, yeah, I'm really good, but you got to check out my little sister. So they're great. They got to check out Dr. Edge coming along because he's like in his own category.
Now, how old is
Oh, he's 9.
Oh, that's a great age. And when you're 9 years old and you're getting out there already, the world can be anything he chooses it to be.
Yeah, and Lily started acting at 9 with the same company. And Melissa's been acting with them since she was 11. So we have a long history with this theater. And so it's really quite special. I helped open the theater here when I was pregnant with Carson. So it's all it's really sweet how it's come back full circle. And it's really been great for the children, and they have found their voices and some of their loves and their channels for creativity. And so it's important to put kids in theater, whether they do anything with it or not, getting over being shy. Melissa was terribly shy, and it helped her so much with her stage presence, right, baby? It's been amazing for her. So, Ted, we love you very much. Kevin, you're part of the family. We love you so much, man. And we're so grateful for you. We're so grateful for Ted. And what is this? Bye, Mary. Okay, love y'all. Have fun with Kevin. And I love my girls. Bye.
Love you, Mom.
Okay, bye. Love y'all.
Have a great day. And it is so cool that I get to talk to an entire family and the crazy uncle and everybody, and the love that you guys have for each other is real. It's genuine, and we could go a long way in our world if everybody could get along the way you guys do. And it's just so fun. But I got to tell you, Ted, and I was listening clearly, and that is not of this era. There is so much pop music that is not very good, and this is extraordinary stuff. And it harkens back to, back to when everybody had to use their own voice, and auto tune wasn't the thing, and all of that, and to write it and to produce it and to do what you guys have done. It's pretty remarkable.
I mean, it like my favorite record out now is Taylor Swift's record, and I just like every song, especially like Question and this,
this is in that vein.
So there's just a certain thing about this that reminds me of that, just the way it, moves and things stop and they go back and forth and stuff like that. So I know we're in the right direction. I know we're moving in the right direction, and it's just it's great to be like on this train ride. It's cool, and so if we could get that kind of promotion and get it out to the stations, I know this would just go zoom. So my biggest focus was making it timeless, because if you have millions of dollars behind it, it's going to come out in a week, and what time it's coming out. But if you don't know when it's going to be released, sometimes songs without big budgets could take a year before they finally break through, 5 years sometimes. So you just try to make it as forward, and I'm always really good at being ahead of myself. So I tried to make the track. So look, they wrote the song 8 years ago or something, so the song is timeless already. So it was written before, it sounded fresh. I thought they wrote it like recently when I first heard it, and when they so that the record will sound great tomorrow, in a year it'll sound good in 2 and 3 years. There's nothing that is going to go out of style on that record. and it's great, and it's great singing too.
Well, it reminds me of you've heard the story of Hall and Oates with "She's Gone."
My friend played the bass on that one.
Oh, jeez.
My friend Fonz, everybody said Fonz playing the
you
great
are
bass player.
you are simply an amazing human being. That
No, I just been here for a long time, so I've worked with a lot of people.
Well, but if you two don't know that story, is that they released an album, Hall and Oates, their first album, and one of the songs was called "She's Gone" on that album, and it didn't do anything. It didn't go anywhere. And then they released another song that became a minor hit, and that caused people to go back. Tell me if I've got this story right, Ted. It reminded people to go back and look at some of their other music, and they pulled out "She's Gone," and it became a #1 hit or close to it.
I mean, in the old days when you had like records that were the main source of, the music, sometimes like one of my lady I used to work for, Marty Sharon, wrote a song called "Jump" for the Pointer Sisters, and it wasn't even on the album. And then when the album came out, they had to pull all the records back, like 200,000 records, and put it on there, and then re-release the whole entire thing. So sometimes you just don't know, and sometimes a song that nobody thinks is going to be a big deal becomes a big deal. So the thing is that if it's done right, it'll be timeless and still sound good no matter when it comes out. I mean, we could back up. They're not even going to know who I'm talking about. There was a record called Hanky Panky by Tommy James and Shondells. So written by a good friend of mine, Jeff Barry and Ellie Greenwich. My baby does a hanky panky, right? They wrote it back where I went to high school in Long Island. They were on some street just sitting there, and they wrote the song. And Tommy James cut it. He's from Pittsburgh. And it like sat there. Nobody did anything, but it took 5 years before that got on the radio. But when it came out, it just exploded. And then Tommy James had like a whole bunch of other, I think We're Alone Now, just a ton of hits. But that was a 5-year wait. So, it still sounded good. That's the thing you want to do, is make it sound good no matter when. There's certain stylistic things that auto-tune effects that, I can tell when a record was cut just by those things. But you really you put "Saving All My Love for You" on, sounds great. Beatles songs still sound great. Songs, even Britney Spears, "Oops, I Did It Again," still sounds great. And, thank you to my friends who sang the vocals with Paul Abdul, who really did the vocal singing. So inside spoiler alert, sorry. But
I'm excited. Ladies, I'm excited for you.
And all of like Bruno Mars, those early records, and I said Taylor Swift, all her early records still sound great. I Got a Blank Page Baby and I'll Write Your Name sounds great. And that's 5 or 6 years old. So all of
2016.
Yeah, at the same time you started writing Clearly, perfect.
Yeah.
So you just want to do great work, and you just want to make it so that I said it sounds. If you do quality work, it'll sound great. Barbra Streisand or any of the people that have been around for a long time, their music still sounds good in years, and it'll sound good later on too.
Well, but then there's even something more, I think, and tell me if you agree with this, Ted, because you've been around a long time too. Is that there was a period of time in the late 50s, early 60s when a lot of the great music wasn't being written. It was all being written by folks and then sung by other folks, and it wasn't really very. I mean, like Troy Donahue, and there were a bunch of other ones that Frankie Valli and forget his name. He was in the Musketeers. Anyway,
Frankie Avalon.
Thank you so much, Frankie Avalon. But there was a period
for the cello, sure.
Yes, there was a period of time when music wasn't very good, and
what you were talking about, Annette?
Yeah,
Annette was every boy's heartthrob. I mean, she was the little tiny Mouseketeer on TV, and she had dark hair, and she was like a little Shirley Temple. She was so cute, and every boy fell in love with Annette. And then she got older, and she filled out into becoming a woman. It was like, whoa, little Annette suddenly is like hot, So that was a big deal for our kids.
Yes, it was, and that was the beach movies.
Yep.
and those, but the music wasn't very good. But then along came this group in 1964 that changed everything. and I really feel like Ted helped me find, because I see so much, I hear so much music, and I hear people that are really good musicians and songwriters say that music today isn't really very good. I think we're in a place where
No, it is. I totally disagree. I mean,
oh really? Okay.
yeah. I have friends that are stuck back in the '60s and stuff, and it's like, I mean, I have a playlist that has it's all new music, and everything is good on here. From Megan Trainor's "Made You Look," I love, and Rihanna's record is good, and to hear Taylor Swift is great, and just there's just so much great music. And Beyonce's record, "Comfort," is cool. I like the other one, but um, even people I don't like, there's just the quality of most of the music that's out is really good. And there's not, people say, oh, music was better when it was this and that and everything. And I totally disagree. It's just a matter of where you listen to. You have more choices now. So, you can you put on Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardians of the Galaxy had all these great songs that were just the Cat Stevens, Metallica, Elton John, Blue Suede, Norman Greenbaum. It's like, who is that? But it still sounded great in a newer movie. And, then you go forward and just, The Weeknd is great singer. Post Malone is great. Harry Styles is just ridiculously good. Can't sing live very well, but the records are just amazing. And he's nominated for a Grammy. So there are great people out there, and they will fit into groups of people that have Broadway shows and they do pop records. And there's a lot of talent out there. There's a saturation of talent. It's not that they're not talented, it's that a lot of people are not original. So what makes these girls original and special is that they're original. They're not, there's a lot of people who sound exactly the same. But they're talented, they're great. You can't say they're not good, but then there's people that come along that are exceptionally talented and they have something unique, like a Lady Gaga who had been around for a long time. She was really different. And Taylor Swift has been through how many different incarnations? She's been country, she's been country pop. She keeps changing and adjusting, which is what you have to do. So her career, the way it's moving, that's where I see them going. They have a lot of options into different styles, and they're unique. And they have a quality about them that stands out from the rest, which is special.
I will take your advice, and I stand corrected. So
there's a lot of bad music too. So we do have an overabundance, but every generation. I mean, if you want to back up into the '50s, and do the Watusi, these crazy dances in the '60s when the Beatles came out, the Beatles didn't have, every record wasn't great. Some of the records were just like, what? So, they experimented. They had room to experiment and room to do things. Whitney Houston, so her first record had a song called Thinking About You, which was a dud and only went to number 60. And I thought that was the end of her. And then Clive Davis put like $5 million of his own money in to promote the record. The second single was You Give Good Love, which did really well. And the third one was fantastic, Saving All My Love for You. So the record companies used to really care about the artist, and they would stay with them if they didn't have a hit. And it's not so easy nowadays because there's not that many labels and there's so much pressure on the artist. So the way they're coming through the indie channels is really good because it gives them room to like say Open When didn't do good. If they were signed to CBS or something, it'd be like, well, that didn't do good. Sorry, you're done. And they drop them. So this gives them a chance to find their voices, find their style, find their look. And, when time is right, God's timing is perfect. When the time is right, they'll explode. Boom.
So, ladies, I got to ask you, when you're sitting around your house and you're kind of just having a nice conversation and you're just kind of dreaming about the future, what does it look like for you?
I get asked this a lot.
I can only imagine why.
Lily, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, because I don't know what to say.
Okay. I see a couple different paths, and because I want to do everything, I have dreams to do a lot of things, which as you get older, it's hard to do, especially if I want to get my master's degree and finding the path to get there and making connections. I want to play music. I want to perform in various ways. I want to continue to write. I've started to actually really have time to write some more, which I'm so excited, especially like because clearly he's done so well. We have other things that we want to record and put out there, and I want to be able to have content to do that.
Breathless.
Yes, I want to do that one. Be able to write with Lily and just because some of our best stuff has come from when we're just messing around at the house. And I'm like just playing something and Lily's like, ooh, I hear this like little melody thing. And so we just kind of throw it around and figure out what works. And to be able to have the time to do that is what I would like to have. And then to be able to teach because I've found such a passion for it. So just figuring out where to put the pieces in is going to be the hardest thing to do. But I have such a passion for music and just making connections and making music with people that I really hope that God gives me that path. So I'm trying real hard.
You can do anything that you choose to do. You've certainly got the talent.
Amen.
You have the ability. You have the team around you, and you can certainly do any and all of that. And just remember, you're 24. You're just getting started. For 22.
Yeah, I did the math wrong. I'm sorry.
Don't give her 2 more years. That's my age.
I'm like, wait a minute. Excuse me.
So,
I'm not 5.5 years younger than my sister. That's not right.
6 years ago. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
So
that's hard.
that's okay. And but you've got so much time, and you've got so much talent, and it's just really cool. And Lily, I'm going to put you on the spot because use your acting gift and do a little improv and tell me what your dreams are.
Well, I've always loved singing with Elizabeth, and honestly, clearly is where I learned how to do counter melodies and harmonies. That's kind of like where it started for singing, at least with Elizabeth. But I also, in my path for the future, I want to turn my books into movies, but I do not want to leave my music career behind. I want to do everything, like you said, Elizabeth. We kind of both want to do everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you come from a family where your mother does everything,
Everything, right?
Yes.
and she is amazing and gives you all of these opportunities. Like, hey, do you want to try this? Hey, do you want to try this? And then you end up loving a lot of things, and you wear so many hats, like sports, theater, music, other things.
Dancing.
Trying to pick a path is a wee bit difficult, but. Sorry, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess where I see myself is that I wanted to do something where I could use all my talents. And when I thought of that, I thought movies or TV shows, because I'd get to write, I'd get to act, I get to sing, maybe dance, I'd get to do art, because I'm also an artist. I mean, I'm here at Lipscomb University right now as an animation student, learning how to animate and stuff. But
By the way, your animation is really beautiful, and if you go to, I saw it. It's on your website, and you have some of your animation on your website, don't you?
I do.
I
do. I haven't been on the website in a really long time. I do.
I do.
You do.
She's getting married. We didn't even know it.
Wait, what animation is on there? I'm sorry. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. And I know that like doing this with Elizabeth, getting out there is going to help me reach that goal. So
I hate when people ask them those questions. It drives me nuts because they do so many things. If I had my choice, I'd be like, y'all just don't do anything except music and just leave everything go aside like that. So they're so multi-talented. It makes me really nervous because I just want them to do music and then do everything else that they're going to do after we get this rolling. So every time I talk to their mother, I'm like, tell them not to do anything else except music. I just want them to do music. Tell them to stay home. We're just going to do music. But they're, she wants to make movies and animation, and she wants to write books, and they're just, they have many interests, and the problem is they're good at all these things. It's not like, they want to do something and they're no good. That would be way easier for me. It wouldn't scare me. If they weren't good, it'd be like, oh, she's trying to do that. She's no good. Great. Okay, I don't have to worry about that. So, I'm glad they're not my kids, because they would just drive me insane. It was just like, wait, you said you were going to do this last week. When are you going to do this? So, the world is their oyster, really, and they just can do anything.
It's your oyster.
Yeah, it's a great expression, right? So I said, from where I have nothing to do with any of that other stuff. So I'm just being selfish and narcissistic here, but I just want to, I want to see the music thing take off really, really big. And so everybody always asks them those questions. So I shrink into my chair and I get,
Well, but the thing is, and Ted, don't you agree that it really ultimately, fundamentally, it's all connected?
That's
That
true.
One
That's true.
success in one area will lead to success in other areas.
You just
And-
you have to achieve success, or renown or whatever in one area, just as your platform lead off. So I'm going to reference an older person. It was a Harry Belafonte, somebody I worked for 3 years. So I know, and he came out singing calypso music, Day-O, right? So he's very good looking, beautiful man. And so he got famous from that. But what did he want to do? That was just his ticket in. He was involved with politics with President Kennedy and Martin Luther King. He started he helped get Nelson Mandela out of prison. The We Are the World, Harry started. He was just instrumental in so many areas, and politics was his passion. And he hosted The Tonight Show, and he was in movies, one of the first Black actors to kiss a white woman in movies. So he had lots of interests, but his passion was, he got there. He had a way to get there first. So the way he got there, it gave him international success. It made him famous and rich, but it wasn't ultimately where he wanted to be. And these girls, I just want them to get there, and then they can just take off and just go like that. This business is so competitive that you have to almost like say, okay, I'm just going to do this now, and then I'll branch out. So,
What
that
do you- have
they're
you
going to
guys
get mad at me for sorry.
no, have you guys thought about what fame and how fame would change your lives?
I have thought about it. I actually just had this conversation recently. I just had this conversation yesterday because I've had it a few times the past few months. So I saw the Elvis film, and then I've seen how like fame changed his whole life, and part of it was negative. And it made me wonder, like, say our music were to blow up, and then just things were to get big, and then the public has their eyes on you, and then a lot of celebrities talk about how they don't have a lot of privacy, and then like they put on a face and stuff and it's not all celebrities, it's just how it changes them. I mean, like, it changes your lifestyle. So I mean, it changes the environment that you're in. So it will change you. But I mean, all I want to do in life is be successful, and that's just one of my main goals. And if our music is to get big, and if we are to get famous, my goal and my plan is just always to be, my foundation is God and family and the love of people around me, this team, this wonderful team that we have. And it makes me physically sick to alter who I am. And I think that's why sometimes I have a hard time putting on a face, even in front of my students when I'm teaching, because when you're teaching, you blah, 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 blah. But like, I don't want to change who I am just because I'm in front of a crowd. Like, I would just hate to do that. And I think it's one of my pet peeves about other people too, is like they change who they are with people. It just, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting on a tangent now. But I would hope that I wouldn't get big-headed, and if I would, that I would be smacked by the people who love me in this team. Just be like, hey, remember, I'm giving you the authority to do that, because
Oh no, I will slap you.
remember who I am. I mean, that's a song that I've written before. It's like, remember who you are. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life, and whether it's bad or really good. You can get really big-headed about stuff, but remember who you are and where you come from.
if you watched Elvis, I mean, Elvis was a man of God. He just loved his mother, and his relationship with his father was kind of weird. But what really brought Elvis down was Colonel Parker was really good for him and very controlling, and his mother dying really changed everything, and he kind of like lean towards Colonel Parker as like a father figure. So the strong family unit, and Whitney Houston had a strong family unit, but then as she got more famous, she pulled away from her family and she got involved in a lot of negative things. But in
Right.
the beginning, her family was really close. The Osmonds kept the family really close. The Jacksons, the relationship with the father wasn't so healthy, but the family was there. It Beyonce's relationship with the mother is still good. Tina Knowles is still involved in running a lot of stuff. I know the guy that Tina Knowles is married to now, Richard, and so there's still a family unit. But Beyonce is so big that it's being run there. But she always had a mother to go to. She had a mother to go to for advice, and Tina, father, it was her father's vision. So the family unit is what you guys have, which is great, and you'll never get lost because your family unit is close and nobody's going to let you guys get lost. And I do feel good about all these other things that you guys want to do because I've done music for authors and books and films and Broadway and things. So I can go wherever you guys want to go. I can work with you there, which is cool. So I'm just trying to keep it, get there, at least get to a certain level first. That'll open you up to do whatever. And you can be like actresses who are now producers, and people like George Clooney who have gone through all the acting thing, he's producing and directing and all of that. You have all those options are open for you, and you can be, you can do all of it. You can write books, you can do Broadway shows, you can do musicals, you can animate cartoons. You just pick one thing to focus on. That's all. That's the hardest part. I sound like the old. I keep telling this, so I have this conversation with their mother all the time anyway. So.
And Elizabeth, I will tell you that because you have a sound head on your shoulders, you have family and friends that are going to back you. I don't see you going down a dark place. I just can't see it. And you either, Lily. I think you both, and you're going to be each other's best support going forward for as long as you're together. And you can tell in the way that you sing and the way that the songs come out. It's and Ted, I really appreciate the fact. I mean, you've been around the block a little bit,
More
and
than once.
more than most.
Yeah.
I was telling Mary earlier that I could spend 5 minutes with you and you could drop more names, and it'd take us like an hour to figure out.
But that's not who I am. I mean, all the names I've worked with, I used to think that was who I am, but I had a life changing experience around 2014 when my life got turned around. I started all over again. And God came into my life and really changed it. So all the music and things I work on are just to, be thankful and grateful that I was given a second chance. So, all those names are just, they're people I worked with. They're not better than these two girls, and the work that I'm doing with them is so, it just makes me feel so good that people are liking what we're doing because I'm working from a different place. And I love, our relationship when we work is, say, produced by, great. So I produced it, but we're working together. When we start doing these things, we sit down with a guitar and we're like, how does it go? How do you hear it? What do you guys like? What do you want to do? And it's really like a group effort. And then I'll go home and I'll work on some tracks, but we come back in and I'm really fast. So they're like, well, this part should go here. Okay, great. Let's change it. How about we change the key? Let's change this like that. So if you watch us work, there's like steam coming out of the room because we're going, that we work really fast. And no matter what I come up with, these girls can do it. Do it like that, do like that. So there's like, how in the cartoons, the characters kind of get into the dirt and it just looks like smoke and they're just like that. There's heat coming out of that room because we're working so fast and intently, but it's so joyous. The working experience is joyous. When we do a session, I'm driving home and I can't even go to sleep. I'm just so uplifted. It's like going to church. And so we're not just doing music, we're doing God's work here on earth without getting too, deep here. And all the work that they do with the talent that God has blessed them with is, like you said, it all ties together because it's coming from.
Well, and that's the other thing is that you guys have got a responsibility
Mhm.
to yourselves, to your fellow man, fellow women, of people going forward into the future, because they're going to look to you as a role model. There's really is no way around it, kids. You're gonna you're gonna be a role model for your generation, and it's gonna be great to see because
They
we
could be
need.
elected to office. I mean,
Yeah,
any one of them could be elected to office.
I
Ronald Reagan was an actor and he ended up becoming president. I mean, you know,
exactly. But you guys, you've got so much talent. You're so young. You've got your head on your shoulders. You've got a great team. You got a great family. You can do anything you want to in the world, and you will.
you're 2 years older than we started the interview here.
I
So
know. She's lost 2 years already. That's pretty cool.
we started. I'm 2 years older at the end. Great.
Hopefully, I'll have a master's degree by then. That'd be cool.
PhD, who knows,
Yes. So do you have time because you're teaching and going to school at the same time? Is that right?
So the way that my degree is, so I have, because music education is a massive degree, most people don't do it in 4 years. I mean, to stay sane, you shouldn't, unless you want to take classes over the summer, which is not fun. But so, especially instrumental. I'm an instrumental music ed major, and we have to take all the methods courses when it comes to all the instruments. So I have to learn how to play all of them, which has been really fun. That's just extra classes aside from the gen ed classes, but blah, 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 blah. So I graduated and walked last May, but I don't receive my actual degree physically until December when I finish my internship where I get my licensure, because I'm not just education, I'm education with licensure. So it's kind of like a double major. So I finished all of my classes. I'm just doing my internship and getting experience. And I what was it? A week and a half ago, I submitted my big project to where I'll get my licensure, which is doing a bunch of lesson plans and basically jumping through hoops that are on fire to receive my license. And so that's done. And then I have to take a big exam in my specific field. It's called the praxis exam. So once I'm licensed, I could take the praxis in, say, English. And if I pass that, then I'm certified to teach English. So once I have my licensure, my certification to teach, if I wanted to teach another subject, I just have to take an exam in that specific subject, and then I could teach that. But so I'm done with my classes. I'm just doing extra stuff to get my licensure, and then I'm done in December.
Congratulations. That will be good. And Lily, are you in college now?
Yeah, I'm sitting in my dorm right now.
Do you have a box full of letters hanging around your dorm?
No, I don't, sadly. She does.
My wife made me. I was just in LA last week, and I got a week's worth of open when letters, which was great. I love that every day. Quoting from the Psalms and different things like that, and just every day I read them. It's great. I just love that. It's just so special, and their song really. It just tied it all together. I didn't know what to call them. I just thought they were just letters my wife made me. But when they said open when, I call them open when letters now. They're great.
And I really hope that catches on in a big way, because I think that would really help humanity and our relationships with each other, which are so fragmented right now anyway. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play that song, but I'm going to let you guys go. You can stay and listen to it, or you can go, but I wanted to give each of you an opportunity to tell the audience that's listening now, and the ones 15,000 for the last time we talked, the ones that will be listening later, I'd like you to tell them anything that you'd like them to know? And Elizabeth, we'll start with you so that Lily can have a moment to think about what that might be.
Anything that they want to know, just about anything, or what do you mean?
What's on your heart? What would you like to know?
Whoa.
We could be here forever.
I gotta go to dinner, guys.
Just so you know, I do this on purpose because I want people to know who you really are and what you really are about, and so it opens up. I get some of the most remarkable things that people say during this segment. So I just want you to do it from, and all three of you do it from whatever's on your heart, and it doesn't matter what it is. Just whatever you feel led to say, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I'll say this and then I will have to bounce in just a minute. But I'm sorry.
Well, girl, I'll be bouncing.
I will as well.
Well, just any music that, and I know it's the same for Lily and for Ted as well, but any music that we put out there, I mean, it's not superficial, or it's not like quote unquote plastic or anything. It's very deep. The lyrics that come to me and the melodies that come to all of us, they come from within. I mean, it's my mom has said before, like, you could be a songwriter and sell your songs. That for me is very hard to think about, like giving my songs to other people, which like I could write for other people, but like the stuff that I write, and I know the stuff that, comes from Lily and from Ted, it's so intimate, but it's something that we want to share with the world because we feel it so deeply. And it's just, whether it be like happy or sad, we know that it's not necessarily, I mean, it's personal, but a lot of these feelings are universal. It's things that people can relate to. It's things that will lift people up or be like, hey, I'm here too. I understand what you're going through, and be able to kind of like give people a hug from 10,000 miles away, which is kind of what, I mean, open win is too, because it's like, we have distance here, there's something different about a letter, like a physical letter, rather than just, I mean, a phone call could be the same thing, but when you write a letter, like, I mean, Ted was just saying, like, he had a letter for every day that he was gone. It's, you put so much of yourself into that for that person, and it means so much. And that's what we want to do with our music. It's the same thing. It's the reason I write poetry. It's the reason we do music, is to get what's inside out. It's a language in itself. And I could talk forever about this, but I think I'm going to put a cap on it.
Lily?
Okay. So, like a word of advice. I'm sorry. I guess, I don't know. I know with everything that I'd want to do, at least, is that my main goal with stuff is the message that I want to give to others. It's not the fame. It's not anything else. It's the message that I believe God wants us, and also me, to share. Is I believe that there's always hope no matter what. Never give up. And then even if you can't see it or feel it, there's always hope. And not everyone in this world, day and age, know that. And I was recently reminded of that, why I want to share that. And I truly believe that there's always hope. And that everything you do, just never forget that.
That's
No matter
awesome.
what
So
happens.
this song, this is a prayer. Okay. So you say, this is a prayer to the Lord right here, because you make me feel like I'm on top of the world. Every time God's hand meets mine, I see a little more clearly. With every embrace, I feel a little closer to home than I'd ever thought I'd be. Clearly, that's a prayer. That's a prayer right
Absolutely.
there.
And most of it is. But Lily, I want to tell you something real quick. I interviewed a gal day before yesterday. I do this a lot, by the way. I interviewed a gal day before yesterday, and she has felt like she was getting a message that she needed to spread hope. And she kept on hearing the phrase hope and seeing hope everywhere. And so she found polished rocks. And these polished rocks have got a gold writing on them, and they say hope. So what she does is she gives a little bit of hope to people she feels needs it. She'll walk up to total strangers and say, "Here, I think this might help you today." And she doesn't engage, she doesn't talk to them, but she's spreading hope one little rock at a time. You guys are doing it one song at a time, one listen at a time, and it's the same thing. And congratulations, you're doing some amazing things. And Ted, you're partially responsible for that. And personally, I'd like to thank you for your role in that because it's important what you're doing. It really is, and that's why and we're going to play that the open win in just a minute. But I will end this episode with you, young man.
Am I a young man?
Well, I think you're younger than me.
Okay.
I think everybody's younger
I was
than me.
getting my little. I have those things I give them out. One says hope, one says faith, one says love, and they're little silver things. I'll just give them out to people. So they're not rocks, but they're only about that big. I usually carry a couple with me.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, that's the essence of what she does, and she wants to do it just to spread a little bit, spread a little hope. So, what would you have to say to our audience today, Ted, before we go?
Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for willing to open yourselves to new music, and don't ever get stuck into just like, well, what was in the past, that music was great like that. There's new music coming out from people like these two girls that's amazing. So as you go into the future, let all of us just be open to new things, new music, new art, new books, new plays. Mozart was great, but in Mozart's time, Mozart was a revolutionary and he was new. And the first play that came out on Broadway that changed the format or something like that, Rent or Spring Awakening or any of those things. So you have to be really fearless to do new things and to try to get your new thing through and let it be heard and be seen. So I'm just proud to be part of this train and be on this, riding on the bus.
Ted Perlman, producer extraordinaire, Elizabeth Jackson, Lily Jackson, and you guys are Sisters J. Look them up. Go buy their music, please.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for giving us the opportunity here.
Oh, you guys
Thank
are
you so much.
Thank you.
phenomenal. I'd like to be your crazy uncle if I could be your crazy uncle.
There's always room for one more.
Perfect. Because
Everyone's family.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Tacoma Dome or at Safeco Field one day, and you'll have to give me a backstage pass to see you guys.
VIP
No.
backstage pass.
No, we get famous. We're not gonna know you.
Exactly.
Kevin, who?
That's all right. I'll be old, and I'm never mind. I won't go there. But thank you guys for doing this, and I know we got to go, and I could talk to you guys for hours, but we're gonna play Open Win. I hope everybody takes its message and starts doing this for friends and family, and just a little box of letters that they can take with them for when they're feeling down or feeling lonesome and want a little piece of home. So
I just wish I could do what they do as they're doing it. They're always fixing their hair.
Awesome.
It's like, yeah, they're always. I used to have long
I
hair
keep getting
down to
complaints
here.
from friends.
No,
I would like
down
some
here.
if you don't mind.
Picture me when I was 19 years old. My hair was all the way down to my boo boo. And, so
I had hair at one time. I know it's hard to believe, but in any event, ladies, thank you. Ted, thank you
and I
very
walked
much.
around like this to get it on my face. They thought I had Tourette's because I just used to do this. My bangs always. So I just watching them doing this all the time. It's true. I walked in school like that because it just fell in my eyes. It's only get out of your eyes.
He was the Bieber before Bieber came along.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Well, and when he was growing up, the long hair was, long hair.
Yeah.
It was really, yeah. And then we lost it, and then there you go. So,
Yeah, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Yes, indeed. And I'm looking forward to and reintroducing you to the KKNW audience next week. So you're going to be on Friday, I believe. Let me, I think. It's going to be the unless you guys don't know this and can't make it, but we've got you scheduled for. I'm sorry for December 2nd. December 2nd. So
That's a Saturday?
no, that's a Friday, December 2nd.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Correct.
So
I think I've got a lot of finals due that day.
I pray to God I don't have a football game that day.
Oh my word! Speaking of finals, Elizabeth,
you play football too?
No, I student teach. Oh my gosh, Ted, is that you?
With my
that hair is gorgeous.
19 years, I was like your age. So I said, I just keep on dropping.
That's amazing.
By the way.
You have to show that to my mom.
Yes.
I was so dumb though, you know. I was so dumb. I was like to Emily, I always say, "Oh, you should have known me when you were younger like this." She said everything I tell her about me, then she'd be like, "Oh no, I wouldn't want anything to do with you."
Ted, you were 19. You're allowed to not know anything when you're 19, and no pun intended for anybody who's happened to. Women are different. Girls are different than guys. You guys
We're
mature.
just built different.
Well, you mature a whole bunch earlier than we do.
Biology. That was to do biology, anthropology. Great.
Yes, indeed.
Who knows what you'll learn in a Sisters J episode? You know,
Absolutely. So
I see reality show future.
oh yeah, that would be good. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you
And-
for having us on.
Take
And-
care, everybody. God bless.
And
Lipscomb
this-
in the house. Yeah.
And this is
Lipscomb in the house. No.
Open Win, and this is the song is we're playing the video now. So
Wait, can I say something? I'm sorry.
yes,
Yeah. So you got me great video. The stuff you sent, beautiful. So
isn't that good? I have an assistant that does that stuff.
it's a video. Yeah, Elizabeth sent me great video. I got that. Looked great. But you on the top there, where's my video? Of
I'm
singing
sorry, say
along-
that
singing
again?
along- I'm singing along with Clearly. So I got one from one sister. I'm waiting for the one from you.
Oh, that one.
Oh, I'm doing
Gotcha.
that Saturday.
Have you made it yet? Or are you gonna?
We're working on a video for
Oh,
Clearly.
the video. Oh, the video.
Oh, yes.
Good. Well, this video, I love this video that I'm about to play. So this is great. So
Do I know this video?
Yes, it's the Open Win video.
you
Oh,
created.
the open wind video. Oh, that one's great. I'm talking about for Clearly.
No. Oh, I understand that the original one wasn't up to standard, so you're redoing it. So
No, they weren't in it.
they weren't in it.
No, they weren't in it. It was people. It was the new Sisters J and a half or something. I kept waiting for them to be in the video, and I was just like, by the end of it, I was writing text to Mary, their mother. I was like, ah. I was going to put it up. I was going to share it right away, and then I happened to look, and I was like, they're not in there. Okay.
Remember, ladies, branding, and
Yep.
your faces are very marketable, so they need to be there along with your talent. So thanks guys, and here is Sisters J. What's it called, Elizabeth?
Open Win.
Open Win.
Open Win.
I am just kind of worried for him.
Hey, do you remember that thing that I did last night for my boyfriend?
Yeah, I do.
Let's do that when I get home.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I love you.
Open when you need a new song. Open when you forget where you belong. Open when you wanna feel closer to me. Make no mistake, we can't fool ourselves. Nothing we can do about the distance. The miles between us, a part of me is missing. A road you Words you might need written from my heart, sealed with my kiss while we're apart. We're too open when, open when. Never said love would be easy. I'm sending you a part of me to make you smile, to feel my love constantly. Oh, when we're finally in each other's arms, we'll pick up where we both left off, as if time and space were never lost, and our loves always existed. Always with you. Open when you need a new song. Open when you forget where you belong. Open when you wanna feel closer to me. Words you might need written from my heart, sealed with my kiss while we're apart. We're too open when, open when. One day these letters will lead me back to you. That's when I'll find your loving arms, find your arms away. Till then, this will have to do. This will have to do. Open when you need a new song. Open when you forget where you belong. Open when you wanna feel closer to me. Open when you need a new song. Open when you forget where you belong. Open when you wanna feel closer to me. Never said love would be easy. I'm sending you a part of me.
Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to one another, because